Next, anyone for or against the request will be asked to come forward to the microphone and express their opinion. Each side will have a total of 10 minutes to speak. Development plans require a public hearing, however, no action will be taken by the Planning Commission. Plats, rezonings, and street renamings require a public hearing, and once the public hearing is completed, Planning Commission members will deliberate and render their decision. Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in any petitioner's request are required to recuse themselves. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the members of the Planning Commission. To my left is Mr. Buddy Hardwick, Vice Chairman. We have Mr. Frank Cook, Jerome Moore, Patrick Moss, Cruz Reeves, and James Reed, and myself, Kippy Tate, yours truly, the chairman. We have members of the Planning Control staff with us today. We have Mr. Tommy Tyson, Mr. Robert Smith, James Center, and Tanya Ingram. Members and petitioners are requested to please speak directly into the microphone. The minutes are recorded for legal purposes, and this is the only way to accurately pick up audio. Tonight we have 7 members present. It will take 5 votes to pass a motion. If you think because of the number of board members present, if you would like to delay the request, please let us know when your request is announced. Mr. Tyson, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Well, first, let's do this. Let's approve the minutes of the last meeting. Has the commission had an opportunity to review the minutes? And if there are no changes or issues, we'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Motion passes. The minutes are approved. Mr. Tyson, would you read the first agenda item?
First item is presented by Pilgrim Engineering on behalf of David Foshee, requesting final approval of David Foshee Plat Number 1, some 755 feet south of Wares Ferry Road, approximately 2,400 feet east of Dozier Road. It's an Ag 2 district.
I'm Pep Pilgreen with Pilgreen Engineering. This is a plat for David Foshee. Obviously, he has 3 acres out there that he's lived on. This is zoned Ag 2, which has a minimum lot size of 5 acres, but they only have 3 acres and have had 3 acres forever. And pretty much all the property around them is 2 to 3 to 4 acre parcels with houses on them. And in order to build his house, we need to provide a plat, but he doesn't have any more land. So he had a house on it and they tore it down. He wants to build a new one.
Thanks, Pep. Commission members, do you have any comments or questions for Mr. Pilgrim?
Pep, it wasn't anything in a deed or anything that's restricted it to the 5 acres, was it? It was just the zoning?
It's just a zoning. I think that was probably what was put on it a long time ago, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions from the commission? Does anyone in the audience wish to speak for or against this item? If so, please come forward. Seeing none, commission, what's your pleasure? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Moved and properly second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you. Next item.
Next item by Pilgrim Engineering on behalf of Stony Brook LLC, requesting final approval of Stony Brook Plat Number 9, located along Rustboro Trace, approximately 240 feet north of Treviso Place in a PUD district.
Pep Pilgreen again with Pilgreen Engineering. This Stony Brook Plat 9 is a plat that nestles in between Plat 7 and Plat 8. We're just looking to continue building the 50-foot lots at this location.
Okay, commission members, any questions or comments from Mr. Pilgrim? Is anyone in the audience wish to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, commission members, what's your pleasure? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Raise your hand.
Thank you.
Pep, motion passes. Thank you.
Next item by Ken Upchurch on behalf of CCU LLC. It's a public hearing for development plan for a new building on the west side of Perry Hill Road, 400 feet north of Windsor Hill Boulevard. It's an O1Q district.
Pretty interesting standing on this side of the table
Yeah, I
after
know.
all those years. I'm Ken Upchurch, and I'm here to answer any questions for the public hearing on this development plan on the first lot to be developed on Perry Hill Road in that Aronoff development across from the Fresh Market, the old Hill property.
Ken, is it a spec building or is it?
No, it's going to be a physical rehab therapist building.
It's nice to have activity out there too.
It is nice, and the only sad part about it is Jake hadn't come off his pricing in 10 years.
Commissioner, go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to throw it. I was going to say he's probably paid a lot of interest since then.
Well,
Tough negotiation.
yeah, this is a public hearing, so commission members, do you have any more questions or comments from Mr. Upchurch?
Thank you for doing what you're doing to that lot.
You're welcome. It'll help.
Seriously. Any member of the audience would speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, this is a development plan, so thank you for your presentation, Mr.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a great night.
You're good.
Thank you, Ken.
J.M. Garrett and Son on behalf of Carlson Office Building. It's a public hearing for development plan for a new building at 1724 Platt Place in a O1 district.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name is Richard Bollinger. I'm with J.M. Garrett & Son, and I am here representing Eddie Carlson on this office building.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Commission members, any questions, comments?
Just, is it a spec or is it individual build? What is it? Just,
He didn't tell me.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? This is a public hearing. Any members of the audience who speak for or against this item? Seeing none, we declare a public hearing has been held. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next item, Tommy.
David Robinson on behalf of Sonny Davis Construction. It's a public hearing for development plan for a new building at 2021 Berry Chase Place in an O1 district.
I'm David Robinson, and as you said, I'm seeking development plan approval for a 4,390 square foot building at 2021 Berry Chase Place in an O1 zoning.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Any questions or comments from the commission?
same question. David, is it a spec or is it an individual building or?
This is a speculative building for prospective tenants. No tenants are set up for it yet.
Thank you.
Any other comments from Mr. Robinson from the commission? This is a public hearing. Any members of the audience wish to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, we declare a public hearing has been held. Good luck with your project. That's it.
Thank you.
Next item by Professional Engineering Consultants on behalf of Lee McKee. Request final approval of Lee McKee Plat Number 1 at 3700 and 3704 Lockwood Lane in a PUD district.
Hey, my name is Pat Mosley, and we're asking for final approval of the Lee McKee plat, which is Walter McKee is building a house. It was 2 lots, and he's replatting 2 lots into 1 lot.
You're gonna have nice access to the tennis courts, isn't it?
It's right across the street from the tennis courts.
Pat, this isn't part of the process, but it's just part of being nosy, okay? How are they handling the homeowners' dues? Are they gonna have to pay 2 because they're combining, or are they gonna?
I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm interested.
There's no joke. I just had a question, Tommy, for you guys. There's an asterisk behind Lockwood Lane. What does that asterisk represent?
Private street,
All those streets are developed.
Private street?
yes.
They're all private streets.
Okay. I just didn't see where it referenced anything. Thank you so much for that clarification. Thank you, ma'am. Any more questions or comments from the commission? Any comments from the audience? Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand.
Thank y'all.
Motion passes. Thank you.
The next item and the last item is presented by the Development Department of the City of Montgomery. It's a request to rezone a parcel of land on the west side of Caroline Street, approximately 250 feet south of Clayton, from T4R to T4O Smart Code.
I'm Melanie Golson with the City of Montgomery Department of Development. We are requesting a rezone of this property to allow for commercial development.
What was your last name, Melanie?
Golson, G-O-L-S-O-N. This is an excess piece of property that the city council has authorized the sale of, and in order for the potential buyer to develop it, they want to use it for commercial use, so it needs to be rezoned. Everything immediately adjacent and across the street is already properly zoned for commercial use.
Melanie, there's an interesting 3D rendering that's in this package. What does that represent?
That is just as a speculative of what the site might look like. We've not seen actual drawings from the potential purchasers' architects. It's Equal Justice Initiative, who owns the property across the street where they're building the memorial. They're planning on somewhere around a 12 to 15,000 square foot building that would be a auditorium, office space, and gift shop to coincide and complement the memorial.
Okay. Any other questions or comments for Melanie?
Let me ask just a question, because going by and I looked, do we put planning commission notification signage on city property, or did it just wash away?
It should have.
Yes.
Yes, we post everything on the agenda.
It was there last week, because I ride by and check on the property a good bit just to make sure that there's not trash on it.
Yeah, he
When did you run by today? I rode by today and it wasn't.
Pick them up the day
yeah
of.
he picks them up the day of the meeting, so you missed it. That's why you missed it.
Well, the reason I was asking, because I just wondered if it just floated away.
It could have.
Sure could have.
Any other questions from the commission? Melanie, I have a question just for clarification
Yes, sir.
purposes. And so maybe some members of the audience or who may be watching this on TV might have. Can you explain the difference between the T4R designation and the T4O designation? What's the differences in the two?
Residential versus commercial use.
T4R
T4R
is
is residential, would allow for residential. T4O is open, and it allows for mixed use, so it could be either a multi-story, commercial first
More
floor.
flexible.
More flexible.
Okay.
One last question. There was a group called the Five Star Consortium that was looking to do a bunch of development up there. Are they anywhere touching this property?
No, sir.
Okay.
Good question. Cruz? Any other questions from the commission? Any members of the audience that should speak for or against this item? Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Been moved and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. Melanie, your motion passes.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck with your project. That concludes our agenda for tonight, so this meeting is adjourned.